one thing I will 100% own is that that was not what we thought our deliverable was going to be up until a few weeks before we got there. We kind of gone into it thinking this is going to be more of a marketing plan, build out a really nice specific value proposition for different customer segments, and then maybe give them a template marketing plan that they could use, because this particular client, this company, is led by 3 engineers with no business background, very logical, very analytical, and so the business language was very very unique to them, something they're not used to, and so we definitely saw that early on and thought, okay, this is definitely the direction we're going. But then a few weeks prior, when we got to actually talk with their proof of concept client, we were like, oh no, like this is not necessarily where we think the most value is to be had for this client. This customer is on the verge, or this proof of concept customer is on the verge of bringing this on as a part of their platform, generating revenue for the client. But the client, when it came to actually asking, to move from proof of concept to an actual paying customer, something they'd never done before, there was a lot of uncertainty around it for them. And so we realized that this would actually bring huge amounts of value to them, almost immediately, and give them a plan, template, and the confidence needed to go out and get other customers, which is ultimately what they need to grow this company. And so we quickly realized that the value wasn't in a marketing plan, it was actually in the sales execution plan. And so communicating this, we had to brainstorm this as a team a little bit, because we don't want to walk into any business and be like, you guys are doing this dreadfully wrong. That's not a good way to build a relationship. But also, it was our job. We noticed an area where the significant improvement could be had early on, for this company. And so as consultants, it was our responsibility to point that out and say, this is where the most value is to be had for you. And so really, when we communicated that, we didn't focus on, oh, you should have done this beforehand, or you should have done this better. Like that's not value added. That's not relationship building. It's also not helpful to anybody. What we focused on was that, this is exciting. This is a place where you can make huge progress in just a few months if you want. This is how you set up your company, to be super successful in this space. And so when it came to communicating that cross-culturally, we just focused on the upside and the value that was to be had, and how exciting it was that we had this opportunity to actually make such a big impact, so early on. That's a relatively universal language. To come in and be somewhat condescending or hypercritical, that's universal, just in the wrong way. That makes people defensive. But coming in with excitement because we found this opportunity that is going to be so great for them and is going to set them up. We were excited about it. We communicated it as being excited about it. And at the end, they were pretty excited about it too. So there's no need to focus on mistakes. The process of delegating tasks from the top of the organization to people in other roles that operate as direct reports to those people, that's a sticky area when it came to Botswana business culture. And I think it also is probably true when it comes to entrepreneurs in general, because what they've built here is, it's their baby. Like they've put their heart and soul into it, and they, sometimes letting go of every process is difficult, especially when you've exercised ownership of it from ground up. And so there has to be a lot of trust between direct reports and their supervisors in order for tasks to actually be delegated. And also, a lot of these clients that we're working with aren't in the place to bring on, a large sales staff as well. And so, operationally and financially speaking, some of them weren't there. But then also culturally, like it's just not the norm to delegate tasks from, a supervisor to a direct report without really strong trust having been built already. So when we evaluated that, we catered our deliverable to them. So instead of telling them you need to hire a sales force, we actually focused on, okay, let us as consultants teach you how to do this yourself. So that one day when you bring someone on that you trust fully with the responsibility to go out and sell this product, then you can teach them yourself. But we realized quickly that the best way to actually convey this deliverable was for us to commit to teaching the founders themselves how to actually carry out this process themselves.